Hey everybody, it's me, Bob Harris, Senior Editor, FootballDiehards.com. It's the Week 8 injury preview, review, update, and overview. The thing we like to do every Saturday, get you up to speed. If you're not, like a lot of you out there, have busy weeks, can't keep up with the minute by minute, this is where we get you caught up. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Time as I record this, so keep that in mind. Check the late breaking updates section for any developments to happen after this whenever you're listening to it. Overnight Saturday, early Sunday, etc. So there will be news. Things will change. Check the update, the late breaking updates, and the FSP staff cheat sheet. That's where, like, the one-stop shop. You'll find everything, the whole list of players, and links to all the latest pertinent information. If somebody you were counting on is down at the bottom of the rankings, there's a reason why. You can find out by clicking on the link. There have been some trades this week. The trade deadline's next Tuesday. James Robinson traded the Jets in the wake of Breece Hall's season-ending torn ACL. Yes, Breece Hall is gone for the year. James Robinson, we're not sure how much he'll contribute this week. Michael Carter expected to start. Also, Kadarius Toney traded from the New York Giants to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're on bye, so he obviously won't play this week. Lots of trade rumors: Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris, Jeff Wilson Jr., T.J. Hawkinson, Brandon Cooks, Chase Claypool. No action yet. Again, the deadline on Tuesday. Let's dive into the injuries. I'll do them in chronological order, so you have an idea what your fallback plans need to be at any given point in time. There's a London game, so it's an early kickoff, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That means an 8 a.m. Eastern time inactive list. Jamal Agnew, the only player of interest on the injury report for the Jaguars. He's questionable with a knee injury. He missed last week. Expect him back to handle his return work and work into the receiving mix. Russell Wilson's off the injury report. Will start, so hopefully there's no aggravations to either his hamstring or his shoulder, but he is good to go. We'll go into the early afternoon kickoffs. Chuba Hubbard, this Carolina Panthers at Atlanta. Chuba Hubbard has been ruled out with the ankle injury he suffered last week. Deontay Foreman takes over the starting role and will be the primary back. Raheem Blackshear also in the mix here behind Foreman. The Dallas Cowboys will be taking on the Chicago Bears. Ezekiel Elliott is listed as doubtful with a knee injury. That's in Dallas, by the way. Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz both listed as questionable. Elliott all but certainly won't play. Tony Pollard moves up in the starting lineup there. And pretty good play against the Bears defense. On the other side of the ball, everyone's good to go. We'll see about Brown and Schultz. Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot have been doing well at tight end when Schultz isn't, so it's not like they have a dearth of talent. Noah Brown has been a factor, but not a major factor in this passing attack. The Las Vegas Raiders go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Devontae Adams listed as questionable due to illness. He had a bad flu, missed a couple days of practice, came back on Friday. Seems likely to play. Darren Waller has worked on a limited basis all week. He also seems likely to return. Hurt his hamstring in week 5 and sat out the bye. Sat out last week. Hopefully good to go this week. Matt Collins questionable as well with a heel injury that he played through last week. Other side of the ball, Andy Dalton remains the starting quarterback. Everybody's healthy, including Jameis Winston, at least at the quarterback position. So Dalton looks like he is the starter going forward until he isn't, right? Might take one bad game to change the dynamic there. They need some wins. There will be no Michael Thomas or Jarvis Landry again. Thomas dealing with a foot injury. This will be his 5th straight game missed. Jarvis Landry, I think, his 4th straight game. So both tight ends, Juwan Johnson and Adam Troutman, listed as questionable. Johnson got a hamstring injury late in the week in practice. That's never a good sign. Troutman's been dealing with an ankle injury that's been ongoing. The Detroit Lions are hosting the Miami Dolphins. Amon-Ra St. Brown's listed as questionable. He's in the concussion protocol, but he never really had a concussion, right? This is something we're going to have to watch going forward as, spotters see someone they view as being having some wobbles or instability or ataxia, they call it. They're going to pull him out of the game, and they're in the concussion protocol. They're not going to come back in the game, and then they're going to have to work through the protocol. St. Brown's doing that. He worked on a limited basis all week, lost the red no-contact jersey on Friday. So I don't see any reason why he wouldn't play. They have said he did not have a concussion. So if he did not have a concussion, it's safe to say he'll be cleared. DeAndre Swift, better news, off the injury report, so he will return. Haven't seen him. He's had a full month to heal up, right? Missed 2 games before the bye, then missed last week, and now he is back. So hopefully he'll be good to go and fully healthy. Josh Reynolds also off the injury report. T.J. Hawkinson, they dealt with some issues, knee issues earlier in the week. They're both off the injury report. On the other side of the ball, Durham Smythe is listed as questionable at tight end. Everyone else, Jalen Waddle came off the injury report. Raheem Mostert is, I think they do a little maintenance on his knee, so he goes limited in practice at times. He's off the injury report as well. Waddle is the shoulder, no issues there. The Arizona Cardinals travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. James Conner has been ruled out again. Darrell Williams listed as questionable. Matt Prater also questionable. They already elevated Rodrigo Blankenship from the practice squad, so It feels like they don't think Prater's going to play. At the running back, Eno Benjamin looks like he'll get the lead role. We'll see what Darrell Williams figures in, right? I don't know if he'll figure it at all. He's got to be active first, and then if he's active, I mean, Eno Benjamin ran well. Keontae Ingram also in the mix there, the rookie, too. So on the other side of the ball, everyone's good, ready to go. New England Patriots are at the New York Jets. Mac Jones will start at quarterback. He is off the injury report. So is Kendrick Bourne, off the injury report. Damian Harris, off the injury report. Nelson Aguilar, questionable. Got the hamstring issue. I don't know if any of you are digging that deep in your lineups or on your bench to get Aguilar in there. On the other side of the ball, Corey Davis has been ruled out with a knee injury. Elijah Mitchell will play. He missed last week after having a little blow up with his coaches. Wanted to get traded. They're not trading him. He will play this week, and we'll see how he does. Again, Breece Hall, if you didn't hear, suffered a season-ending torn ACL. Sad thing to see. Rookie of the Year candidate done for the year. They traded for James Robinson. Michael Carter expected to get the start this week, however. For Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, Chris Boswell was ruled out, the kicker, on Saturday. The replacement to be determined. They haven't added one yet. I'm sure they will sometime later today, so watch for that on the late breaking update section, or pivot to another kicker. That would be my recommendation. Late afternoon kickoff. Some interesting things going on there. The Seattle Seahawks will be hosting the New York Giants. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf both listed as questionable for this game. Lockett was added late, so he's had the hamstring injury. He's kind of worked through that without much issue. They added like an oblique. They're calling it a rib injury, but Pete Carroll kind of mentioned it was an oblique injury or maybe a muscle pull or something. That's one to watch. And DK Metcalf with the knee injury, initial reports were he would miss some time. He's got some work in practice this week, and they seem optimistic. Maybe overly optimistic. I don't know. We'll find out. I'd be cautious with both of them. Have fallback plans in place in that later afternoon window, even if it's some guys on that team, whether it's Marquise Goodwin or Dwayne Eskridge or somebody you could just plug in an emergency. On the other side of the ball, no Kenny Golladay, no Daniel Bellinger, both ruled out, knee and eye injuries respectively. So Wan'Dale Robinson kind of gaining. He'd be someone you could plug in, right? So otherwise, everyone's good to go in this game. Cam Akers, the Los Angeles Rams, will be hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Cam Akers won't play again. They're looking to trade him, and we'll see if they can get that done. Van Jefferson back from the IR. He was activated this week. Sean McVay says he'll play his regular role. So good news there. On the other side of the ball, news isn't great. Deebo Samuel ruled out with a hamstring injury, they'll be without him. And Juwan Jennings, a wide receiver, fellow wide receiver with a hamstring injury. He did not practice the Wednesday and Thursday, was limited on Friday. Not clear if he'll play or not. Kyle Juszczyk, fullback, all-purpose weapon, is also out this week. He had a finger injury. He had surgery earlier this week, and so he'll miss this game. Should be back next week. So Christian McCaffrey should handle the full workload. And again, apparently teams are looking for Jeff Wilson Jr. or interested in Jeff Wilson Jr. So there we have that. The Tennessee Titans are at Houston. Should be a big game for Derrick Henry. He tends to have those against Houston. They're not playing good defense this year. But Ryan Tannehill's listed as questionable in this game with the ankle injury. Malik Willis, the rookie, will get the start if Tannehill can't go. He's very limited. Didn't practice the first 2 days. Tannehill, I think he was limited Thursday and Friday, but didn't do much. So we'll see how that plays out. On the other side of the ball, Brandon Cooks showed up as questionable with a wrist injury. Or is it a trade issue? I don't know. It seems weird. He had a full practice Friday, so to turn up questionable seems a bit odd. Nico Collins listed as questionable. Not sure how long he'll be out. Seems likely he will miss this week. He did not practice all week. I know Lovie Smith said earlier this week that it wasn't a season-ending injury. That seems like he's setting us up for an extended absence of some, to some degree. But unlikely to go this week, although officially listed as questionable. For the Indianapolis Colts, Matt Ryan has been ruled out, but he was benched anyway. Sam Ehlinger gets the start at quarterback, so we'll see how that goes. A little experimentation there. On the other side of the ball, Jahan Dotson has been ruled out for this game. Again, hamstring issue ongoing. De'Ami Brown, who missed last week's game, will return this week, or has a chance to return this week. He is questionable. Logan Thomas, questionable as well. With the calf injury, he's missed 3 games, and so hopefully he can get back in the mix. Cole Turner, another tight end there, has suffered a concussion. He's been ruled out. Sunday Night Football. The Green Bay Packers will be at Buffalo. They will do it without Allen Lazard. He's been ruled out with a shoulder injury. Christian Watson could return. He has a hamstring injury. Matt LaFleur expressed some optimism about his availability, so we'll have to watch for that. Everyone else is good to go, and the Packers are going to need everyone they can get in this game. I'm guessing Buffalo injury reports clear. Jake Kumaro was on it and came off it, so he looks like he'll be ready to return from an ankle injury, although nobody should be digging that deep into this lineup. Monday Night Football, the Cleveland Browns host the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase has been ruled out for this game and beyond. They're not placing him on injured reserve. He has a hip injury, but the reports have been 4 to 6 weeks that he'll need no surgery required. Just needs to. I've heard reports saying it's a fracture. Just needs to rest and heal and rehab. So that's what it'll do. They're calling him. The official verdict is week to week, according to Zach Taylor on Saturday. On the other side of the ball, David Njoku has been ruled out with an ankle injury. There you have it. Once again, hit the website. Check the late breaking updates section for anything that's changed to what I just talked about, or check the FSP staff rankings. That's like a good one-stop shop to get everything you need in one place. Links to all the articles, all the updates, players moved according to the latest news and information. So should be very helpful for you there. Good luck this week, and we'll see you next week.